To get started with, yesterday we have seen few explanation related to basic trend charts which we have, or to get started with the basic visuals in Power BI, we have seen how the uh, components of x-axis and y-axis differ for a column chart and a bar chart. I mean, how and what is a column chart and what is a bar chart. So we'll go through the visuals only today. We'll understand better insights related to these visuals, how the column chart and bar chart works. And along with that, there is an important concept. Maybe in the second session, we have seen an importance of data governance. So in Power BI also, once you get the data, how do you govern that data? I mean, how do you make sure that the data is correctly managed? How do you make sure that the data is correctly interpreted? So we are also going to see that components. Now, we'll not directly jump. Um, One more important thing which which we were having one, if I'm trying to get any specific data. Now, let's suppose if I'm trying to connect the data from this car data set or maybe electronic store data set, let me connect. Right, yesterday it was not directly getting connected, right? Some OLE error. So these kind of errors are nothing but your connectivity errors. Now, if I directly click on load, it should directly load to the Power View. Now, the one who have joined today, I would always recommend you to go back and understand the Power BI desktop components. Power BI desktop is your development tool. As a developer, you should know each and every component of Power BI desktop. Now, the very first thing which you open in the Power BI desktop is your Power View, where you can create your visuals. Now, if you see, yesterday there was some error. In Power Query, we were able to see that data. But in Power View, we were facing some issues. We are facing some connectivity errors. Now, that kind of errors, if you ever come across, the best thing is either change your internet network. Even if it is not working, now the only option left is once you open the Power BI towards rightmost corner, you have this zoom slider, right? You have this zoom slider. Now, next to that zoom slider, there is this fit to page. Now, one condition or one single line would be visible here. That means what that line suggests is click here to download the latest version of Power BI. Now, Power BI Desktop, as I've said, Power BI Desktop comes with a updated version on every month basis. On every monthly basis, you will get some or other updates from the Power BI point of view. Now, yesterday, I'm not sure how many of you have focused it. If you go back to the yesterday's recording, there was a option here for me to click here to download the latest preview. So only once you download or update this Power BI, there are few chances that if you're using an older version of Power BI, you might face some connectivity errors. Now, how do I check which is the latest version? I mean, you can, you are in the ribbon bar, you would be default in the home tab. Now, the ribbon bar is the above window, which you can see. Now, in the ribbon bar, if you go back to the help option, in the help option, there is this first icon, which is called as about. Now, what does this about signify? About is about your Power BI desktop. And you see, this is the latest version, April 2025 update. Now you can always go back and check which is the version you have downloaded from the, the Microsoft Store or from the Google, from the website of the Microsoft. So you can always have a check. If you think if that is not the latest version, you'll always get an icon here towards rightmost corner that click here to download the latest version. Try to download that latest version, reinstall that Power BI. You shouldn't uninstall previous thing. Only reinstall the latest version. It would automatically update it to the latest version of Power BI. Right. So recommended is if you click on this help icon in the ribbon bar, go to the about. If you have January, February, March, April, any of this last 4 months update is okay. I would not recommend to use December 24 update or maybe prior to that. Anything from 2025, start of 2025, if it's January, February, March, or April, either of them is correct. And I'm not saying that if you're using January 25, it is not the latest version. Still, January 25 has all the features, all the updates. The only thing is there are few updates which are upgraded in April also. So recommended is go from January 25. Anything prior to that is not recommended. Right now, if you update it, that connectivity errors would be almost gone. Now you can see I'll be able to, I was able to get that error earlier, but if I'm able to connect any specific data, I'm able to get that data here. Now again, I'll go back to the home tab. This is your Power View. And if I click on transform data, the background condition is your Power Query editor where you can do all your transformations and your cleaning of data. Now, yesterday we were discussing two different charts. One is bar chart and one is column chart. Now, I've requested you folks to go back and understand what is x-axis in column chart, what is the x-axis in the bar chart, and why x and y-axis certainly changes in both the charts, right? In column chart as well as bar chart. Now, let me take the very first visual. If I hover on this very first visual, this is called as bar chart, or in simple terms, or maybe specific to Power BI, it is called a stacked bar chart. Now, why is it called a stack? We'll see that. But let me click on this. See, once you click on it, we'll be able to get that visual. Now, for the very first time, if you're ever working in Power BI, it is always recommended that you can go back to the view tab in the ribbon bar. You can go to the view tab. In the view tab, the central option, which you have page options, right? There are page options here. You can click on this grid lines. For you folks, the grid lines would not be automatically on. What are the grid lines? Whenever I get any visual, now there are no visuals, right? But if I click on any visual, any random visual also, that grid lines will come in the background. Now, what is the benefit of using this grid lines is, if you're working for the very first time in Power BI, what should be the ideal size of a visual, or how do we fit that visual, right? So if you have grid lines, you can fit that visual very easily, right? With this grid lines will help you to fit any specific visual in a precise manner. So recommended is go to the view option in the ribbon bar. You can check box, and there is this checkbox, right? You can click on this checkbox for this grid lines, right? This is how it is ideally for you. If you click on this, the grid lines would be available in the background. So this will help you to take the ideal fit of any specific visual. Right now, I'll again go back to the home tab. This is bar chart. Maybe I can increase the size. For now, I'm not looking the exact fit and size, but I can increase the size. Now, what is bar chart? How the bar chart flows? From left to right, right? The information flows from left to right. So if I take this, we have x-axis, we have y-axis. I'll not write x and y as of now, but this is how a bar chart flows. This is one single bar. This is another bar, right? This is one more bar. So this is how a bar chart flows from left to right. Now, in case of left to right, let's understand what is x-axis and what is y-axis. Now, the thing is, it is always recommended that whenever you are getting any data, I've loaded the electronic store. If you check the electronic store, how many columns are there? You need to open the Power Query editor, 17 columns and 999 plus rows. Now, I've already said yesterday that if the number of rows are more than 1000, it will be 999 plus, but it will display all the columns. 17 columns are there, and there are more than 1000 rows. Now, from left to right, it flows. That means which would be x-axis and which would be y-axis, we need to understand. In case of bar chart, x-axis is always the vertical line and y-axis is always the horizontal line. Vertical is standing, horizontal is sleeping, left to right and top to bottom. So this is y-axis and this is x-axis. Now the question is, whenever you're working on this bar chart, first you need to identify that what kind of data can be taken in x-axis and what kind of data can be taken in y-axis. Maybe do not go that much technically into it, but as a simple human being, how do we understand what kind of data will come in x-axis and what kind of data will come in y-axis? See, if a bar is flowing from left to right, that means this is y-axis, right? That means this is y-axis. So how bar will flow depending on some values, right? There should be some value to it. Now, what can be this value? This value should be numeric value, right? This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. So there should be some numerical data. It should be some numeric data. So it is recommended that if you're using a bar chart, y-axis should be always a numeric data. It should be always a numeric data. And what should be x-axis? X-axis means it can be certain name, right? A is one name, B is one name, C is one name, or maybe it can be 2010, it can be 2020, it can be 2025. You can take years, you can take any specific names. So that can be part of x-axis. But if you take in case of y-axis, if you take 2025, that is of no use, right? The data should be purely numeric data to give you that bar. There should be a bar, right? So again, let me go back to the Power BI, the Power View. And you see, whenever you're working on bar chart, it is always the y-axis which will come first and x-axis will come second. But there is one more chart next to the bar chart. This is the column chart. Column chart is exactly opposite of bar chart. It will flow from top to bottom, not from left to right. How column chart will flow? Column chart will always flow from top to bottom. So similar thing, but in case of column chart will have x-axis here and y-axis here. Why? Because it is flowing from top to bottom. That histogram, that column is flowing, right? So y-axis should be here. It will give you the numeric data here, and x-axis should be here below. So whenever you're working on bar chart or column chart, which axis should come first? The axis which is below, right? The axis which is below, the horizontal line. Horizontal line for bar chart is y-axis, and horizontal line for column chart is x-axis. Let me go back. Let's work on this bar chart. It is asking me y-axis. Y-axis should be what? Y-axis should be categorical data or numerical data. Here it is numerical data. So I'll again go back. Y-axis should be numerical data for the bar chart. And x-axis should be, let's try. So numerical data is, see, whenever you load any specific data set to the Power BI, you need to check what is the data type of it. The data types can be visible in the Power Query editor, or you come down to the Power View also. There is, you will be default in the report view. You need to come down to the table view here. So in table view also, you can check what all columns are present. Take some time to refresh that preview. Now here you can check what is the total limit of the rows. In case of Power Query editor, there is no option to check the total number of rows. Now you have to do some transformation. There are some transformations available to check the total count of rows. But if you come down to the Power View table view here, towards left corner, you have table view. It will give you how many records are present towards left corner. Now, what should be numeric data? Unit cost is numeric data. Price is numeric data. Order quantity is numeric data. Cost of sales is numeric data. So these are all the numeric data. So how do I identify which is numeric data? See, for numeric data, there is this summarize icon. Cost of sales is numeric. Order ID is also numeric. Order quantity is numeric. Price is numeric. Profit is numeric. Sales, unit cost. So wherever there is a numeric data, you have this summation icon. And whichever data is a categorical data. Categorical means your string data, right? There is no numeric in present in that. Now, if you check this product name also has some numeric information like 4. Here also 400. But this is not purely numeric. It is a combination of numeric as well as some characters. So that is why it is called as categorical data. Wherever there is no numeric information, pure numeric information, it is a combination of both, or only categorical data is present, some string values or categorical values are present, you can call it as a categorical data. And for categorical data, there is no icon present. And for order date, this is a date icon. So the Power BI is very smart enough that whenever you load any data to the Power View, it will give you some icons to identify what is numeric data, which is summarization icon, what is categorical data. There isn't any icon for the categorical data. And there is this calendar icon for the date information. So in case of y-axis, we want numeric, right? So what I'll take profit here. So whenever you drag and drop a profit, something is there, but this visual is not representing. Why? Because you have only taken one axis. In x-axis, you should take some other data also. So let me take x-axis information as well. Right? I'm trying to take x-axis as well. Let's see. I'll take country. Something is missing, right? What is this? Something is missing. I'm unable to understand. Both of them are numeric data. X-axis is also taking it as numeric only, right? Ideally, what is x-axis in bar chart? Is it this or is it this? Forget about bar chart. Go back to your schooling days. Where should be x-axis ideally? Is it here or is it here?
Horizontal.
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 Out of all 60, where should be x-axis? Is it the horizontal line or is it the vertical line?
Horizontal.
Vertical.
Come on. It's 8:27. If you're still in a sleepy mode, but I'm expecting answers from you, where should be the x-axis? Is it this x-axis, which is the horizontal line, or is it the x-axis, which is vertical line? See, keep always one thing.
Horizontal is x-axis.
Might confuse you in certain points. The reason is you should never forget if I'm, see, reason for confusion is to make sure that you're not in a doubt. Right, in future you'll get some doubts. You shouldn't able to, I mean, you'll be able to easily guess where are you going wrong. It is always the horizontal line which is x-axis. Whichever chart you take, bar chart, column chart, line chart, whichever chart you're trying to take, x-axis is always a horizontal line and y-axis is always a vertical line. So keep one thing in mind, never change the axis. With respect to any chart, axes will remain like this only. Again, I'll go back to the Power BI. X-axis should be your, what? What should be the x-axis? This should be numerical data because this is how bars will flow. So this should be numeric and this should be categorical. Why should be categorical? I'll again go back to the, so in case of x-axis, I will take the numerical data, which is profit. Now you see some bar is coming, which is ideally correct. But in without y-axis, it will not give you certain idea. What should be y-axis? Y-axis should be categorical data. Any category you can take. Maybe you can take channel. This is how a bar chart looks like. So whenever you're working on any chart, don't blindly drag and drop a column to it. Understand the behavior of that chart. What is x-axis? What can be the value in x-axis? And what is y-axis? What can be the value in y-axis? So here, x-axis again, I'll reiterate that always keep it in mind that x-axis will be your horizontal line. Never change your axis with respect to any chart. So this is your x-axis and this is your y-axis. Horizontal line, vertical line. Now, x-axis data is numeric, you can see millions. numeric data. And y-axis data is a categorical data, store, online, reseller, catalog. And it is also taking the axis values, what is coming in the axes. This is sum of profit. Numeric data will always take either sum, average, or anything related to numerical. It should either sum up the values, average the values, median the values. Somehow that's how it works, the numerical data. Now again, I'll go back. This is our column chart. Is it column? No, it's a bar chart. Now let me take a column chart again. The very next chart is your column chart. Let's identify the difference between these two charts, right? Now in column chart, you see, if I click on bar chart, y-axis is coming first and then x-axis. Why? Because y-axis will take categorical data and x-axis will take numerical data for a bar chart. For a column chart, it is vice versa. Chart axis will remain as it is. X will be horizontal line only and y will be vertical line. But x-axis has more significance in column chart. Why? Because x-axis can take categorical data. It can take categorical data. How? Because this is x-axis and this is how column chart flows, right? Column chart will have columns, all your columns here. You will have all your columns. This is one column. This is one more column. This is one more column. This is one more column. These are all your columns. So y-axis should be numerics. This is how y-axis. And x-axis should be categorical data. This should be some A category, B category, C category, D category. So some categorical data should be present in x-axis. And again, go back. X-axis and y-axis. X-axis, I'll take same values. I'll take channel and profit. It is one and the same. Both the charts are almost similar. The only thing is one is column chart and one is bar chart. And both of them are called as stacked bar chart and stacked column chart. Now, why is it called as stacked? Along with x-axis and y-axis, there are the other two options which are available. One is legend, one is small multiples, and the last option is tooltip. For now, forget what is small multiples and tooltip. We will discuss once we go to the advanced stage. But there is this legend option. What is this legend? If you hover on these icons, you can easily check. If you check this icon, the bar chart icon, there are some colors within that bar also. And there are some colors within that column as well, right? You can stack some information. Stack means you can add some additional information to the bars or columns. Now, column chart should be ideally, this is how it should look. See, if I minimize the size of column chart, this is not giving you the right result. But if I increase, you see the y-axis is automatically changing. The y-axis is automatically changing. So if I compress, that 5 values are gone. But if I increase the size, the y-axis is automatically changing. So column chart should be ideally like this. Very good, easy to understand. See, more you compress, this is not easy to understand. It's very small. So it should be very ideal to understand. And this is your bar chart. Now coming to the legend, this legend means this will stack some additional information. So what I'll do, within this channel, I'll take a region as a legend. There are 3 different regions: Asia, Europe, North America. So within that channel itself, legend will always partition the categorical data. What is categorical data here? X-axis is your category. So it will always partition or it will always stack that information. This is called as one stack. Within a store channel, there are 3 different regions, and that regions are automatically identified by colors. These are legends. This is North America. The interactivity between the charts, you can see Power BI is so powerful that once you click on North America for the store, channel store, automatically it is also getting highlighted here. If you hover here, highlighted is 1185. 85. See again, highlight is 1185. Automatically, the interactivity between the charts is very important factor in Power BI, and that is how it works. So same goes with bar chart. In bar chart also you have legend. You can take that region here, it will partition that. So this partition means it is partitioning the categorical value. In case of bar chart, categorical value is y-axis, and in case of column chart, categorical value is x-axis. It is getting stacked. That region is getting stacked inside that channel. That is why these are called as stacked bar chart, stacked column chart. You can stack some information. Now we have written some conditions yesterday, right? Let us continue that. Whenever I am explaining any specific chart, I'll mention what should be values in x-axis and what should be values in y-axis to easily understand how a chart is giving you the right view. Right. So let's start with bar chart, stacked bar chart rather, and stacked column chart. So in case of stacked bar chart, y-axis will come first. So I'll start with X only. Let's not get confused. X versus Y-axis versus legend. I'll take legend also because even legend is important. So what should be the values in X, Y, and legend? And I'll copy the same condition for the column chart. So what should be the value in X-axis for the bar chart? I'll again go back. In case of bar chart, I have highlighted the bar chart. In case of X-axis, it should be always a numeric data. So if I remove sum of profit, and if I'm trying to take any categorical data, maybe if I take country, this will automatically take count of country. Why? Because in case of bar chart, x-axis should be always a numeric data. Even if you take categorical data, it will count the number of categories. Right? If I have taken country, it is taking count of country. If I have taken manufacturer, it will be count of manufacturer. Now you have a drop down. Either you can take count distinct, but in case of bar chart, remember the most important thing is x-axis should be always a numeric data only. Even if you take category, it will still take it as a count of that category. That means it's a numeric data.
So one question.
Anuj, you have a question?
So regarding bar chart, you said X would be vertical, right? X axis would be vertical.
Your voice is not audible.
Hello?
No, it is still not audible.
Hello? Hello?
If you have any question, maybe your voice is not audible, you can rejoin or maybe you can post it in the chat. So again, it is always recommended to have a numeric data in the x-axis. You can still take a categorical data, but it will be count of that category. If it's fine, you can always take that, right? If you want how many countries are there, count of countries. How many manufacturers are there, count of manufacturers. So x-axis should be always numeric. Now coming down to y-axis, what should be the y-axis value?
Category.
Y-axis value, it should be always categorical. The data should be always a categorical data. It should be always a categorical data. Why it is categorical? Again, I'll go back. Let me take price only here or profit only here in x-axis, which is sum of profit. See, whenever you take numeric data, you have multiple options here. You can click on this drop down. There is some average, minimum, maximum, count, standard deviation, variance, median. All these are related to numeric calculations, right? Average is also numeric. Minimum is also numeric. Maximum is also numeric. So all the numeric calculations will come here whenever you purely take any numeric data. And in case of y-axis, it is category. Channel is a categorical data. If I take numeric data here, see, this chart is not readable. Now, whenever you are working on multiple charts, either you increase the size of the chart for your understanding, or else if you feel that the size of the chart is good, I mean, for this is good view. You want to check this chart in a focus mode. Focus mode means whenever you hover on this icon, for all the charts, you will get this focus mode. This will increase the size of that visual. That doesn't mean the size of the visual is increased. It is just focusing that visual. Are you able to understand anything in this chart? It's very difficult, right? Nothing is there. Both are numeric data. Ideally, this is not correct. It is always recommended to have categorical data in the y-axis of a bar chart. It should be always a categorical data. You take any category, you take promotion name. This is correct. It is giving you the result. You take product category. Even this is giving you the result. You take product name. Even this is giving you the result. You take country. See, this is ideally correct. We are able to read it. You have to take any categorical data in y-axis. So y-axis should be always categorical. And coming to the legend, can you think we can take numeric data to the legend? What we have in the legend, we have region. If I take sales, you can take a numeric data, but do you think the sales is easily getting partitioned? There are so
No.
many values for the sales. And whenever you take certain value, if that number of values are not ideally correct, correct means the number of values are not clearly visible, you will get this eye icon. What is this eye icon? Too many values are present, not showing all the data. Legend should also always be categorical. It should always be categorical data. You have to take legend as a category. Even though the number of countries are more, but the information is easily understandable here, right? Yes, even this is not clearly readable, but the information is correct. Legend is country, which is a categorical data. So it is recommended to have a category always. Always it should be category only. So I've taken the region. Region is a category. So in legend also, it is recommended to have a categorical data. This is with respect to bar chart. Now, Anu has a question that regarding bar chart, x-axis should be vertical, so why numeric? Again, as I've said, what is x-axis? This is the x-axis, horizontal line. If I take some categorical data here, it is count of country. Even though you can take category, it will be count of country. It will still take it as numeric data only. Because you want a bar, right? How you will show the bar? If there is ABC, no, you cannot have bars. ABC, what are the values for ABC? A is 10, B is 20, C is 30. That's how the value should be present. It should be numeric data. That is the reason in case of bar chart, x-axis should be always numeric. If you take category also, it will be count of category, which is also numeric. So recommended is always go with numeric, or if you want some category, it will be count of category.
So
Right? So that's
generally,
how
I mean,
bar chart will work. Same conditions will be applicable. The only difference is in x-axis, it will be categorical. And in case of y-axis, it will be numeric here. In case of column chart, y-axis will be numeric and legend would also be categorical. Legend should be always categorical value only. It should be always categorical value because less the number of category. See, if you take numeric data, there will be more values. Numerics would be 1, 2, 3, 100, up to 100. But categories can have limitations, right? Certain number of values are only there. So legend should be always categorical. Now, this is the bar chart. I'll go to the column chart. I'll go to the focus mode. This is our column chart. X-axis is category. Y-axis is numeric. Legend is again category. X-axis is category. Y-axis is numeric. And legend is category. This is the good fit for all the charts. This is good fit. For bar chart, this is good fit. That means X, Y, legend. Always remember these three conditions. Numeric, categorical. Categorical is the good fit. Same goes with column chart, but X-axis is category, Y-axis is numeric, and legend should be category. This is the good fit. Good fit or excellent fit, you can call, because these two conditions are easily readable in bar chart and column chart. The information should be easily readable. Now, whenever you take X and Y axis, you drag and drop certain column to these charts. How do you format, right? I want to change the colors of this visual. I don't like the colors, right? Some random colors it has automatically taken. So how do you update? How do you format the visual? In the visualization pane, you have three tabs here. One is the add data to your visual. That means the tab which you are default in, you're adding some data to that visual, right? The next option is your format your visual. I want to format my visual. So many options are present in the formatting. Along with that, for every formatting, you will get this general. General is common for all the visuals. If you change some visuals, these conditions will change. Now, with respect to column chart, these are the conditions. So if I want to change the values in X-axis, what I want to change, you can change the font size also. What is font size? These are the values, right? For X-axis, store is value, online is value, and title is your channel. Channel is your title. This is X-axis, right? For column chart. Now, what I want to do is I want to change the font. I want to change it to Arial black. See, font has changed. This is bold, right? Arial black bold. I can increase the size of that font also. 14 I've kept. You can change the color of that font as well. Channel is black, right? I don't want it to be black. I want to take it as blue. Take it as blue. This is title. These are values. Again, for values also, maybe I'll take UI bold. See, it is getting bold. And I want to change the color. Maybe I want to use that same blue color. Increase the size. 10. Good. So this is how you can do the formatting. This is an X-axis formatting. You come down to the Y-axis. Y-axis also. What is Y-axis here in case of column chart? Y-axis is your numeric data. So you can change the Y-axis values also. Whenever you drag and drop any numeric data to the Y-axis here in the column chart, you go to the formatting, automatically Y-axis is fitting some values, right? 0, 5, 10, 15, 20. That means there is a gap of 5 million between every condition, every numeric condition which is getting interpreted here. But you don't like, right? The maximum value here is, I'll remove the legend. The maximum value for store is 18 million. 18 million is the maximum value. But here it is showing 20. I want to change the graph. I want to change the y-axis conditions here. How do I change? I'll go to the y-axis. You have minimum and maximum. You can mention whatever values you want. So the maximum value should be 25 billion. How do I mean, I'm trying to change, right? Something I'm trying to change, but it is not getting changed. Minimum should be 0. So this is taking 2.5. Ideally, it should be 25. You can change your axis as per your own values as well. If you're not good with auto fit, you can change the y-axis values. You want auto, mention auto. That's it. I mean, you have to clear this. If you clear this, this will be auto. Automatically, it has changed to 20 million. Now values. I want to change the values for bold and color should be blue. Size should be 10. Same, I'll come down to the title. Title is what? Sum of profit. I want to change it to black, bold. I want to change it to 14. Color, change it to blue. You see, you can do all the formattings. Now, let me take the legend again. Done. I'll go back. You have an option called as legend here. You can change the legend What is legend? This is legend, the above one, right? Region, and there are some colors which are getting highlighted. So I want to make it bold also. See, it has bold. Now you want a title. Region is your title here. There is this region, right? If you off this, title is gone. If you on this, title will come. So I'll change the colors to blue just because I'm following the blue format. Now you can change the position of the legends also where it is getting. I want it to be in center, top center, bottom center. It is all on us. How do you want that legend values? Now I want to change the colors of that legend. How do I change? You have to go to the column. This is a column chart, right? So I want to change the colors of that column. For all, default is blue color, but I want to change the colors for countries, right? For Asia, it should be dark blue. For Europe, it should be some lighter blue. And for North America, it should be lighter than that. See, if you change the color with the same shades, some darker to lighter shade, how drastically that visual has changed. Now for our eyes also, this visual is looking very interesting, neat, and easy to understand. Formatting of a visual also plays an important role in Power BI. Your visual should be always crystal clear to understand. Don't take some random colors. Darker shades are not recommended. Even this blue is dark, but this is not that dark that your eyes are getting disturbed, right? It should be easy to our eyes, easy visualize, easy to understand. That's how the formatting plays an important role in any visuals. Now I'm in the focus mode. I'll go back to the normal mode. You will feel the difference. You see the column chart and you see the bar chart. How drastic difference you have. Formatting plays an important role in any visual. Now, whenever you're doing some formatting, there is a title for that visual also, right? There is a title. So how to change the title? You go to the format your visual. Title is not present in the visual formatting. It is present in the general formatting. You have this title. Title is automatically getting added. You want your title to should be manually added. What is this? Channel versus profit. Either you take channel versus profit or you can mention whatever name you want. Channel by profit. And within that channel, we have channel slash region by profit. You can change the title. And for title also, you can do the formatting. This is your title, right? I want to format. What I'll do, I'll again go back and check what kind of fonts I have used. Font is Sego UI. I'll use that same font here. 14 is good. Maybe I'll increase the size. I don't want this text color to be black. I want it to be white. Now, if it's white, your background is also white. So I'll change the background of the title. I'll change the background to this color. See how different it is looking. Now, this channel region by profit should be in middle. You can change the alignment. I want it to be in center. Center. I'll close this title. There are multiple other options. Subtitle, if you want any subtitle, this is the subtitle. It is not required, right? Only main title is required. I'll minimize this title. Now, in the general tab, you can do some additional formatting. If you go to the effects, for this visual, there is no background, right? There is no background. You see, there is no background. Whenever I click on it, it is getting some background. So I want a default background to be available. I'll go to the effect. Background is what? White. You need to have a border to it. I'll add the border. See, whenever I add a border, even if I don't click on that visual, the visual is having a border to it. So you can go to the general tab. General tab is common for all the visuals. It is common for all the visuals. I'll again go to the effects. Visual is added. Now you want a background to it also, you can add a background. Maybe some different color, right? You can add this color. but this color is very dark. I can reduce the color transparency. See, this is lighter transparency, 50% transparency I've kept. That means 50% of whatever color I've selected is only visible. The other for 50% is shaded. Now you see how the visual is looking. Formatting of that visual. Now, along with background visual border, you can change the border width also, right? Border is looking black. I want it to be blue. Everything should be blue. I'll go to the visual border. I'll select this. I'll select the darker blue. And width of that border should be increased. I'll keep it to 3. You see the width also is got increased, that border width. So formatting makes visual very neat, very easy to understand. And it is, see, if you compare both these charts, 100% of the people will always check the below chart because it is very easy, neat and tidy. The other chart is not that formatted, right? There is some information there also, but that chart is not formatted. So formatting of any visual is important, and keep one thing in mind, whichever font family you are using, you should use that same font family throughout all the visuals. Because only in that case that visuals will look similar, right? That information will look similar because you're following the same font family. Now I'll again click on formatting, general, effects. If you want a shadow, what is shadow? This visual is a 2D visual. You want this visual to make sure that it works like a 3D. You will feel some difference when I add a shadow. See, in the background, there is some shadow added. So you can change where do you want that shadow to be added. You want that shadow to be added towards right or towards left. Outside, I'm adding a shadow. You want it to be inside. See, inside will never look good. Something it is getting blacker in inside, right? So it should be outside. And how do you want that shadow? Bottom right, bottom left. See, towards left, there is shadow. So it all depends. Where do you want that shadow to be added? You can change that shadow positions also. Only in the bottom you want, in the bottom you will get the shadow. Only in the top you want, in the top you will get the shadow. So it all depends. What is your ideal requirement? Where are you using this visual? Bottom right is good for me as of now. Now, formatting plays an important role. Let's only focus on title and effects. There are many other formats also, but these formats are not important as of now. This is properties. Properties means if I increase the size, see the height is also getting changed. If I increase the width is also getting changed. So this is all your formatting. The properties is your size. This will automatically change. You want it to be manual, you can change. You can manually add the height. So 418 is not correct. I can round up the value to 420. 613 is not correct. I'll round up the value to 610. Rounding up the values is good. So that's how you can change the size of that visual if you want. It's optional. It's not compulsory. If you drag and drop also, that sizes will change. Now, this is the ideal column chart with all the formatting. There are many other formattings also. See, the values are not visible until and unless I hover on them. I'm taking my mouse cursor, only in that case, the values are visible. So you can add a data label to it. Automatic the labels. And data labels should be, I'll use that same font family, right? Sego UI bold. I'll make it bold. I'll make it to 10. And what should be the color of that specific data labels? You can change the color, right? It is white in color. The data label is white in color. Where are the data labels? Right, these are the data labels. Is it white in color? Yeah, it is white in color. And how, what you want? Automatically, these values are coming in millions, right? You can change it to none. None means, or maybe change it to 1,000. None means that value would be so large that it is not visible. You can change it to billions also. Billions is not recommended. Go with billions automatically, or maybe you can change it to thousands. Data label, you can change it to 1,000, and y-axis, you can keep it to millions. So data labels is adding the labels to it. You want a title also, you can add a title. Title means which country, but legend is also there. Why to add a title? Legend is already there, right? You can help, you can take an help of that legend. Now for the values also, you want to add a background. So you can add a background. See, once I off this and once I on this background, there is a light gray color background added to it. You can change the background color also. I have taken a black, but that black is 90% transparent. That is how that is going to the gray. If I increase it this way, this will be black. This is not correct, right? 90% is what? Correct. The values, the background should be very light. If you want only, you can take a background or else you can directly go with this. Even this is looking good. If I click on add details, what are these details? You have to add some additional value. So these values are all additional formatting. This is not required. Data labels are there. Totals. You want totals, right? You can take a total also. What is the total? Now you want this totals should be in millions, not the thousands. These are the total values. Sego UI, color should be white. That's fine. Totals. So there are many other options. And grid lines is for the page, right? You want grid lines added. For this, the background is also grid line, right? In background, you can see the grid lines, which are part of that page. Why the background is visible? You can go to the general effects. There is this background on. If I off this, something background is visible, right? In the background, something is visible. You can add a grid lines to the visual also. How do you add? Go to the format visuals. If you want grid lines, there are already grid lines added, but these grid lines are very small. If I off the grid lines of a page, and if I on the grid lines here, maybe I'll increase the width. See, now the grid lines are visible, that blue color grid lines. If I'm increasing the width, that grid lines are visible. You can change. These are the grid lines. So this is not required. This is grid line for a visual. This is not required. If you feel only, then add. But recommended is always go with page level grid lines for your development. Once the development is done, you can off this grid lines. So this is how formatting of a visual works. Now, I'm a very lethargic developer. Lethargic means I'm very lazy. I want to do the same formatting for this bar chart also. But you have to follow all the rules, right? You have to do same thing again manually. You can go to the home tab. In the home tab, you have a format painter. Click on the visual, which you want this. This is the visual. I want this same formatting should be available here. Click on format painter, click here. Automatically everything is formatted. Need not do everything again and again. Formatting makes visual very beautiful, easy to understand also. So whenever you're working on any report, make sure your first visual is all formatted very neat and tidy. Then the other visuals you can within seconds, you drag and drop the data, you can use that format painter to automatically take that same value of formatting. Same colors, same font family, same sizes, everything would be automatically formatted. Now you want to change the x-axis values and y-axis values also you can change, right? You can change the title. So here, this is sum of profit. Rather than sum of profit, what I want is, I want it to be total profit. You can write total profit. That is automatically taking that sum of profit. You can write a total profit also. You can change values for that. This is y-axis title. This is x-axis title. Channel by region. I want x-axis to be channel by region. I can mention. Text is auto. Automatically, it is taking whatever column name. Channel by region. So there are multiple formatting options. You need to explore all these formatting options. So x-axis, y-axis, and bar chart and column chart are all done. This is stacked bar chart. Stack. That means whenever you add a legend, categorical value of a legend, the information is getting stacked inside one single column or a bar. right? These are stacked information. Region is the stacked information, stacked within that single channel store, channel online, channel reseller, channel catalog. And in bar chart, it is vice versa, right? Y-axis is taking as categorical, x-axis is taking as numeric. Now, along with these two charts, if you take a look at the right of it, there are the other two charts, which is also a bar chart and this is also a column chart. But what are these two charts? This is clustered bar chart. This is not stacked bar chart. This is stacked. This is clustered. What is the difference between clustered and stacked? What I'll do, I'll take a different page, page 2. In page 2, I'll keep the column chart. So how do you copy a visual? With the help of your mouse, click on that visual. You have more options. Let's see if there is an option to here to copy. Whenever you right click on this, you can copy this visual. Either you do it that way or else with your keyboard, right? Control plus C, copy. I've selected this visual. I'll go to the page 2. I'll paste this visual here. This is your column chart. And in the first page, I'll only use with the bar chart. I'll only go with the bar chart. Stacked bar chart. Now I'll see the difference between stacked and clustered bar chart. This is your stacked bar chart. And bar chart should be like this. You can compress it. Horizontally, it should be very big in size, not vertically. Now, what I'll do, I'll take a copy of the same visual. Copy, Control C, Control V. I'll paste it. There are two visuals. I'll scroll it down. Maybe I'll decrease the size. For the above also, I'll decrease the size. So this is stacked bar chart. Both are stacked. I'll change it to this clustered bar chart. You yourself can see the difference. There is nothing difference, nothing much difference, drastic difference. But in case of bar chart, stacked bar chart, the information is getting stacked inside that bar. Whereas in case of cluster, the values are getting clustered as if this is one single condition, right? For a store, this is one single condition. And you see automatically the x-axis numerical data is getting changed here. Earlier, it was 15, 20 million because everything was stacked in one single bar. Here, separate bars are there for different region. This is Asia, this is Europe, and this is North America. Whenever you hover on that cluster, this is one single cluster. This is online for one single cluster. For catalog, we only have North America. The other two countries are not there. The other two regions are not there. So that's how clustered bar chart works. Clustered means only when you take a legend, this stacked and cluster will come into picture. And there is, very minute difference, right? In case of stacked, it is stacked within that bar. Whereas in case of cluster, separate bars are there. That's it. It is one and the same. Any questions on this stacked bar chart or clustered bar chart?
Any scenario where we have to use stacked bar chart or stacked cluster chart?
Shakir, why is it showing exclamation mark? It is not exclamation mark, it is I icon. If the number of values are not good fit, right? In case of y-axis, I'll take again numeric data. This is the I icon. This is not exclamation. Exclamation is opposite, right? Dot will come below. This is I. I means information. It is representing that the information is not correct here. Too many values. So I have to remove this and I have to take a channel here. Whenever you take some wrong information or if the number of values are more, that I icon will come. It is not an exclamation mark, it is an I information icon.
Can you click on formatting tab?
Are you asking a question, Sakil? I'm not able
Yeah,
to hear.
yes. Can you click on formatting tab, please? Formatting tab.
Just a moment. Can you ask a question again?
Can you click on formatting tab?
Formatting. Oh, these I icons. This I icons means the font is automatically getting reduced. This is not anything related to this is not an error. This is just a warning. This is just a warning.
It's not an error.
This is not an error. This is just a warning. You can neglect this.
When you should have to use bar and call, means can you explain any scenario?
Again, I have said
Both are giving same results.
there are no hard and fast tools to go with bar chart or column chart. It is all on you. You have a very good vertical space, go with bar chart. You have a very good horizontal space, go with column chart. It depends how much space you have. Now you cannot decide that within bar chart and column chart which chart should be used. There is no as such hard and fast tool.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Does the client specify each
No.
time that we
Most
according
of the
itself?
times, client doesn't specify. It is up to us which chart should be best fit. If you feel that you have shared a bar chart and they don't like that bar chart, so you can change it to column chart.
Okay.
So changing a visual is easy, right? If I click on this chart, I'm in the stacked bar chart, I can change it to stacked column chart. But this stacked column chart is very big, right? You can compress it. Now it is looking very good. So it all depends on the requirement. This is stacked bar chart. This is clustered bar chart, and same goes with column chart. We have a column chart here, right? So I'll take a copy of the column chart, Control C, Control V. I'll get this column chart here. And the only thing is this is clustered column chart. Automatically, it will become a cluster. This is one single cluster. This is one single cluster. Now, if you see, this chart is not readable, right? Here, the bar chart was readable. Values are readable. But here, the values are not that readable. We have taken it in thousands, right? I'll go back. Click on that visual, go to the format, go to the data labels. Data label should be, value should be millions. Let's see. Now it is something readable, but between the Europe sum of profit is not visible here. Why? Because there is no space. Here there is a space, that is the reason it is getting visible. But here there is no space. So wherever there is no space, that values will skip. You cannot do anything. That's how the Power BI is smart enough to identify that there is no space. That's the reason it is not getting displayed. So you can change the positions, right? Let's see how I can change the data labels should be changing its position, right? Layout. You can go to the layout, single line. I'm trying to see if there is anything I can change the layout. Millions, okay, okay. Position, right? Position for this data labels. Horizontal, I can take it to vertical. Now you see all the data labels are visible. You can change the position of the data label. Earlier it was horizontal. I have changed it to vertical. Anyways, even when vertical, it is readable. So readability is important factor for any visual. How the information is getting interpreted and whether are you able to read that information. This is not readable, right? Horizontal is okay. This is still readable, but some between values are missing. But if I take it vertically, all the between values will also come. And you can change the position. Inside end, this is not readable. Outside end, this is readable. Preferred inside, preferred outside, it all depends. Now, automatically means it will auto. See, auto means if I check on outside, every values are outside. But if I keep it to auto, this bar is very big. So the value data label is coming within that bar. So recommended is go with the best fit. Either you go with auto or the best fit which you feel. So only difference between stacked and cluster is in case of stacked, it is one single column or a bar with where the information is that legend is getting stacked. Here in clusters, it is separate cluster as if it's a one single entity. So stacked bar chart or clustered bar chart, it is one and the same. The only thing is there is slight difference. Clustered column chart also. And we have seen, right, what values should be coming in which axis. If you interchange the values that are not a good fit, I've only taken the good fit conditions here. Now, within last 45 minutes or 1 hour, we have covered 4 charts, including formatting. So it's very straightforward. Now I'll not go with the 100% stacked bar chart, 100% stacked column chart, because these two charts are slightly different. They have similarity with the charts which we have discussed, but there is a reason to go with that 100% chart. So we'll go through that maybe next session. Going further, we'll go through that. For now, we have completed 4 charts. We have completed how formatting plays an important role. What values should be taken in which axis? That also matters a lot. For all the visuals, may not be only bar chart and column chart. If you go down to any visual, which value should be taken at what place is also most important thing. Now you want a data set. I'll be sharing the data set with the recordings. It's 9:15. Good for today. Please bear 2 more minutes. For the one who have joined today, how to access the previous recordings, I would recommend you to visit our KSR Datavision website. If you visit the KSR Datavision, go to Google. Best thing is go to Google. Once you go to Google, you can search KSR Datavision. You can click on our website. It will open our website. This is our website. Click on sign in. It will open the sign in. Now here you have an option to create a new account, or you already signed in. You can sign in with your email and password. You can use your whatever personal emails you have. Automatically it would be sign in. If you don't have a sign in, let me show you. See, click on sign up. You will get a sign up option. You can create your account, right? You can create your own account. So let me sign in. I already have an account, so I'm trying to sign in. Let me click on sign in. Once you sign in, this is the ideal home page. You can go to the explore courses. You can go to upcoming sessions or free sessions. Both of them are one and the same here. Now, the very first icon which you see here is your full stack Power BI with MS Fabric free preview. That means your all 5 free sessions would be visible here. You can directly click on access course. This is not buy now as of now. You will be in this tab. So the very first thing which you will see is course curriculum. You can download your course curriculum, what I would be covering with Power BI, what I will be covering in SQL. Now for this batch, SQL is already done. I'll again reiterate for the people who are joining with Power BI, for you, you will be given SQL recordings. If you're not satisfied with that, you will be added to some parallel SQL batch with some other data science or data engineering is also going on. For there also, SQL is must. So in all these courses in KSR, SQL is same. If you're even not satisfied with that, once we complete with Power BI and Azure, I'll be starting with SQL again. So you will be added to that SQL batch. So that's how you have so many options available. Now, the thing is, in this course curriculum, everything is clearly mentioned. Everything is clearly mentioned, what I would be covering in detail, including SQL, Power BI, and Azure. Now, you want to check the previous recordings, right? You are in the lessons option. Go to the class records. Day 1, day 2, day 3, today's day 4. Day 4 is still live. You can join. Once this is completed, you will see that same option like here, view recording. You will be able to view that recording. So all 3 previous recordings, first was very few. I mean, it was a demo session. So we can go through that. It is recommended to go through demo also, because why we need Power BI, that is also important. Only then you will be able to understand. By 9:30, I'll close it. Maybe at 10:30 or 11, you can check today's recording after 1 hour or 1.5 hours. So there is one more free session available tomorrow. Once that is done, so you would be enrolled for this course. Now, let me reiterate the other details. This course duration is of 4 months, SQL 1 month. Even though you're joining with Power BI, as I've said, for SQL, you will be added to a new batch if you feel the recordings are not good fit for you. But anyways, I will always calculate SQL 1 month. SQL, we will have 22 sessions, which are already done for, but the other batches you will be added. For Power BI, there would be somewhere around 40 sessions. Our sessions are from Monday to Friday on weekly basis, not on weekends. Monday to Friday. For Azure, it would be 1 month again. So somewhere around 22 sessions minimum. These are minimum sessions. Anything greater than that would be 22, 23, 24, somehow it works. Right? So minimum number of sessions are 22, 40, and 22 again. The course duration, as I've said, it's a 4 month. Usually people will say 4.5. We take a buffer of 15 days, but it is ideally 4 months. The course fees is 30K. 30K if you make it in 3 separate installments. 10, 10, 10. If you make 2 installments, it is 28K, which is 14K once. 14K once. Ma'am, can you please go on mute? Who is speaking? And if you want to make one-time payment, it is 27K. Now, why is it 27? Why is it 30? I will testify. Justification is we will giving you premium per user Power BI license, which will cost you 2000 Indian rupees per month. And it is for 2 months, so it will cost you 4,000.
I have a question.
Just a moment, ma'am. I'm yet to complete. Yeah, Suspita, you have a question. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. So I just wanted to ask, like, if we miss any sessions further,
Recordings.
will we get the recordings like of every
That
each
is what
day?
I've said.
Okay.
For 5 days, it's a free session. Post that, you will have a continuity of sessions. So every
No, I
day.
mean like later on in the continuous
Yeah,
session,
yeah,
like if
yeah.
I miss some of the
Yes, yes.
sessions, will we get
Yes, ma'am.
recordings or not?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You
Okay,
will get.
so we will, so we'll also get recording of each sessions, like each sessions every day, right? The
Just a
other
moment.
day.
Just a moment. I'll show you some other sessions are already added to me.
Oh, okay.
This is for a previous batch. You can go to class records.
Oh, all right, all
And
right.
maybe I'll change it to this here. You can see all the recordings, and in whatever sessions I'm covering, I'm mentioning it in details also.
Oh,
So if
okay,
there is
all
any
right.
class cancelled, even that class cancelled would be available.
So
So
we
you can
can
get
also
all the
access
recordings.
to, yeah, so
Yeah.
we can also access to previous recordings if we want to learn something.
No, no, no. Previous recordings means the same batch. If you're part of this batch, yes, you have
Oh,
skipped some sessions, you will access that previous recordings.
okay.
For this batch,
So,
I'm talking about this batch. Maybe you have joined today, and for next 3 days, you have missed sessions, right? For 3 days, recordings would be available.
okay.
So these
So
recordings are available for lifetime, right?
Usually we keep it to 1 year. Now, why 1 year also? We assume that within 1 year you should get a job. If you feel you want to extend your recordings, after 1 year, send one simple email to our KSR team. They'll extend it for lifetime.
Mm.
Ideally, this is for lifetime, but we keep it to 1 year. If you still want to extend it, yes, you can extend it.
Okay.
So maybe in the month of July, I will not be able to attend like few sessions. And
That's
then
fine.
I can also get recording of each and every
Yeah,
day,
yeah.
like you said, right?
Yes, yes, that's fine.
Okay, all
You can
right.
always get. You're based out of which state in US?
At Chicago.
Oh, Chicago is
Yeah.
Illinois, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
cool. You are at the EST. That's when it's very late for you.
Yeah, it's very late.
Okay.
Is there any other time for the classes, like before than this?
No, not before then. This is the
Oh,
first or the
okay. All right.
ideal
All right.
time which we follow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine then.
Now I'm open for questions. Any questions for what we have covered today?
Sir, I have one question for regarding this field only. So apart from SQL, I need only Power BI and Azure. So what will be the fees?
You don't need SQL.
Yeah, because
So
I
you
already
you can check with our team, sir. You can okay. Now how do you connect with us, right? Um, if you visit our website, you have chat with us option. You can visit our website from mobile also. There are mobile apps as well. You can download a mobile app and you can check the recordings from the mobile app. KSR Datavision app in iOS and Play Store both. There are contact numbers mentioned here. This 8951769123 is contact of Mahesh. Mahesh is the one who is leading us from our connectivity point of perspective. But if he's busy, you can connect the other number also. Someone from our team will help you. Now, I may not be the right person how to make a payment, how to do all this. If you have any questions related to only these two courses you want, you can reach out to our team. They'll help you out. And regarding fees as well. But for overall, this is how the fee structure is. Hmm.
So this
So,
SQL is mandatory for Power BI or
yeah,
is source?
we always assume that for any data related role, SQL is mandatory. Without SQL, there is no data analyst, there is no data engineering, there is no data scientist. SQL is must. You go for any Power BI interview, SQL will be there.
Okay, it means a data source from SQL, right?
Not every time it's SQL only, but the thing is, many a times you will get SQL as a source. SQL, Snowflake. Snowflake is also SQL. There are some other SQL entities as well, right? So I will share the contact numbers. You can connect with these contacts also if you feel that from our website, whichever contacts are there that are busy, right? I'll be sharing these contacts with you people. I'm sharing it in the chat. You can check the chat. So all three contacts are there. Any other questions? So still you have one free session tomorrow. You can attend them. And see, as I've said, we first take this 5 sessions. That doesn't mean we are only taking it as a demo. From the 6th session also, we will be continuing where we have left. So that doesn't mean this 5 sessions are of only demo. This is just because you need to have an understanding what I'm trying to teach. If you're comfortable with my teaching only, then we request you to enroll.
Sir, one doubt regarding Azure, how it will be related as a Power BI?
The thing is, Azure is a cloud. Now, I'm not sure if you have attended the first session. Why we need a cloud is because wherever you are connecting any data, the data would be coming from a cloud only. So that is where it is related to Power BI. Something is coming from a cloud, right? So even it should come from a cloud. So why not go with Azure? Azure is a product of Microsoft, and there are many connectors available for Azure and Power BI. So that's the reason we are going with Power BI and Azure. Now, there are some services which Power BI doesn't support. Support means, see, data cleaning, okay, you can do in Power BI, but if the data is very high, right, in billions, Power BI will slow down the performance. The performance will come down. So in that case, to make sure the performance is good enough, we use some ETL tools like ADF. ADF is Azure Data Factory, which is a ETL tool, which is part and parcel of Azure Cloud. You can access it from any part of the world if you have cloud access.
Okay, okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Any other questions?
There is no calls for Power BI right now. That's why everyone is thinking about learning Power BI. What about the future in next 2 months?
What experience you have, sir?
Sorry?
You have any experience in Power BI prior to this?
I have career gap student.
Okay. So what career gap in the sense? Have you worked somewhere previously?
No, no, no. Almost
Uh,
prepared for a government jobs and
uh,
came into
so
software industry.
see, if you go to Power BI open positions, Power BI positions are open from the month of July end. This is not only Power BI, this is for all the open positions. For the month of May, June, you will have very less openings. Why? Because this is an increment period. People who are not satisfied with the increments, they will put down their papers, they'll resign from that company, they'll serve that notice period. So if you think if the increment is getting added from the month of July cycle, if they are not satisfied, July, June, July, August. So by end of July, the openings will increase. In the month of September, October, November, or even in the month of December, you have very peak number of open positions. For these 2 months, the number of open positions are very less until and unless if some person is moving out of that company. Now, if you're a fresher, for fresher also, companies will start hiring from a US fiscal year. What is fiscal year? I'll let you. So in India, we follow financial year. Fiscal is nothing but a financial year. Folks from US will be easily guess. They can easily guess. Fiscal year always starts from July 1st. It will end on June 30th. For India, it is financial year, which starts from 1st April and it ends on 31st of March. So for US, our IT market is mostly dependent on US because most of the clients are from US. Okay, if it's Europe also, for Europe also, there are different countries have different financial years, right? Usually by April, May, June, July only, these are all the months where fiscal year starts or financial year starts for European and US countries also. So whenever a fiscal year is getting started by 1st of July, companies will get contracts from the clients that this is the contract. You will get some open positions with that contract, that project, right? So companies will start hiring from July only if they think a new project is coming. So for freshers also, usually hiring happens post July because they complete their engineering, they complete their degrees in the month of July only, and companies will also get new contracts. So they'll start hiring from month of July end or post July, maybe August, September. That's how it works. So the months of May, June, and July are slightly lower chances. Post that, you will get very good open positions. Now, again, only for Power BI, there are no calls. Only for Power BI. That is the reason we have included SQL and Azure. If you check any openings with Power BI, Azure is added advantage. So if you know ADF, you have a very good chance to get your resume shortlisted. MS Fabric. MS Fabric is nothing but what you learn in Azure. There are some services like ADF, like ADLS storage accounts. All these components are part of Fabric as if it's a one single environment. Rather than going to cloud, Fabric is also cloud. Fabric is also part of cloud. It is not separate from cloud, but they have integrated in Power BI service. So that's how the Fabric is. SQL have coding. Yes, SQL is coding. Because SQL you need
Sorry.
to write a query. Just a moment. I'll be able to answer the other questions and I can take up the question. Okay, Srikanth has a question. Okay, you have 4 years of IT experience. Yes. You have relevant IT experience. That means it is easy for you to jump to this Power BI. For the non-tech people also, this Power BI is recommended because this is very less coding, more a kind of drag and drop, more a kind of formula writing, not the query writing.
It means everyone can join, even career gap also can learn these tools,
Yes,
right?
yes. I am new to SQL. Will it be difficult for me to go through Anirban? Okay, nothing is we always see if you're understanding Power BI the same way we cover SQL from starts, basics. So if you're understanding Power BI the way we cover SQL also, it's almost similar. From very basic we start. The thing is, you need to put some effort in SQL because it's a kind of query.
Sir, in Power BI, Power Query also it will cover.
Yeah, we will cover. It's a part and parcel, right? I've listed down all the components here in the notepad. I've listed all the components of Power BI Desktop. So I've only shown you that components. I'll be covering all these components, including Power BI service and Fabric.
Yeah, Power BI service is the most important, right? In right now these days.
Without desktop, there is no service. Without service, there is no desktop. So both are important. You should know both. Only if you know service, there is no use. Only if you know desktop, there is no use. So you should know both. There are many other questions. How much coding is required in SQL? See, whenever you're asking a question, let me correct that question. If I say some 50% coding, there is no as such 50% coding. SQL is your query writing. If you know how to speak in English, you can write a query in SQL also because it is just like your English grammar. So I cannot say that it is 20%, 30%. Yes. Now, how much amount of SQL is required? You should know SQL. If you check the course curriculum, you should know all that components which are mentioned in the course curriculum. If you think that if you have a good idea of that components, that is more than enough. We are data analysts. We are not core data architects, SQL architects, right? Basic knowledge, it is not basic, it's more a kind of intermediate knowledge, not the advanced SQL, it is intermediate SQL. Sample, yes, I would always provide the sample. If you check the recording, after some time, maybe at 10 or 10:30, you can download the data set which I have used now. You can download it from there. How to download it? If you visit our website, if you log in, once you log in, you can check the recordings right here. Course curriculum, see, again, I'm trying to say, listen what I'm trying to say. Course curriculum is already present with the recordings. In the lessons tab, you can download it. There is this download option. If you go to class records, you will see the class records. Now, in the SQL, you will find one more tab here. There are two tabs, course curriculum and SQL sessions. Some SQL sessions are also added just for your understanding. And you will find one more tab, download or Power BI dataset. You can download the dataset. But whenever you want to download something, you need to go to this lessons option. Class records is for class records. If you go to lessons option and whichever you want to download, whichever PDF. Now this is course curriculum PDF. This is SQL installation PDF. So if you want to download some file, you need to go to the lessons tab. Do not get confused. I cannot see, I'm not able to download. You should be in the lessons tab. For class records, you should be in class records. So I'll be sharing that data set. You can download it from there. Okay, do you provide, okay, can you provide course curriculum basic knowledge? Okay. Madhusudan has a question that I work in data on private equity company, I have 10 years of experience knowing, okay. For Madhusudan, if you know Excel and VBA, the macros, right? For you, Power BI would be very easy to understand too, because Excel and Power BI are mostly related and Power BI is on top of Excel only. It is developed with that same Excel Vertipack engine.
Yes, sir. I have previously gone through Power BI as well, but because of the work structure I have, I didn't take any job role in Power BI. And now I'm interested to go into cloud. That's why I have contacted KSR Datavision and joining these demo sessions. I just
it is a very good fit for you because if you know Excel, you will also know tax formulas in Power. It is very easy to learn for you. And the only thing is you have to put some effort for the cloud because it is slightly different. It's something totally new for you. So that's where you have to put some additional effort. Srinivas has unrelated question. Is there an option to create a web app or web interfaces? No. In Excel, you cannot create a website. In Excel, you can create a form. So if you want to create a form, there is a different tool with respect to Power BI. It is not Power BI, it is Power App. That is totally different. Power App, Power Automate, that belongs to Power Platform environment. For that, there is a separate course designed in KSR. So there, Power BI is less and Power Apps and Power Automate is more. That is a different thing. Basavraj, you were a question. Maybe you can ask me a question on Monday. I'll help you how to get that. Right? You're already part of our batch, right? I'll help you how do we get that access. Someone had a question, not in the chat, but maybe someone had a question.
So will the KSR team help in placement assistance after the course?
See, placement assistance is what we have some connects with the companies. There are some open positions where companies contact us. We share your resumes. The thing is, you have to have a good resume, which our team will help you to create that. Maybe you have to create with your draft version, and then we will edit you and we'll share it with you as per your requirement. Assistance is given, guarantee is not there. Now, why guarantee is not there? See, we will always push. Even I push it from my end. If I have very good connects with some other companies, I have some colleagues there. So if there are some opening drives going on, open positions are there, I'll try to refer there also. So I'll always give a push. Maybe I, rather than I, it is not I, it is we are from the KSR team. The thing is, you have to put some effort clearing the interviews. Now, Mahesh might have shown you that we are working on AI interview hub. There is this AI interview, right? This is a new option which we are working. This is a new product of KSR. We are also a product company. We develop some products from our end to test. So this is in testing phase, final testing, not the initial test. This is in final testing phase. So by the end of this course, you can easily register on this. This is free for the KSR students with the KSR email ID going further. So you can test this app. You can take some interviews also. Your AI interviews. Interviews means you can clear some interviews automatically. So how to clear interviews, all the interview questions, how to be in this market, I'll be sharing all this. Now, one who have joined with SQL, they already know I might have shared multiple insights with them. But ones who are joining with Power BI also, I'll be sharing many other insights. So additional things will be always given. It is not only we teach, it is not only we cover what we have to, but along with that, there are multiple things which we would be sharing. Yeah, I'll resume preparation, LinkedIn account preparation, interview preparation, agile project management. These are all the additional sessions which I will be covering from my end. On weekends, on Saturdays, I'll take 1.5 hour session in the morning. So you can attend these sessions. It is not that these sessions are on your laptop only. You can attend it from your mobile app as well. That also works, right? Resume building, interview prep. So all these are additional sessions. And we have a
This course
placement
will be
assistance call.
hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. This course will be for like a real-time project, like practical or only theory.
See, theory. See, for a project, I will be sharing some data set. I will be. Have you seen the KSR hackathons? Anywhere have you attended any of the hackathon conducted by KSR?
No. This is first time I'm attending this.
Okay. So KSR also have some hackathons which are free. On every 2 months, we have one hackathon. That is totally free for anyone, irrespective if you're enrolled for a course, you're not enrolled. That hackathons are on Saturdays, Sundays, or if you have any weekend holidays, right? Monday, Friday holiday. So that's how we take 3 days session of hackathons. How it is covered in hackathons, similar things will happen here in project also. Now, the good thing is you have asked this question. If you feel, are we going to cover real-time data? None of the companies share real-time data with any of us. The data which we have, it's a good data, vast data, but it is all a random data. Only when you work with a client, that data will be real. Why? Because even that client will not ask you to share your data set with your personal emails or your company emails, because client doesn't want to share that information, right? It is a restricted information. You cannot share the company's information with others. So the data which we have is almost similar, but it is not a real-time data. You might feel it's a real-time data, but it is not real-time data. That's very straightforward, clear answer. And we have a placement assistance call, which is going bi-weekly, twice a week, thrice a week, it happens. So this is, and this is open for everyone. This is not only for the people who have enrolled also. This is open for everyone. It's a team link which will be shared if you're part of the WhatsApp or some other groups of KSR. WhatsApp, there are groups and there are some, these are also, right? So if you're part of that, that link will be shared. So you can link, what is this placement assistance session? This is conducted by Mahesh. He's the one who is driving KSR, so he knows the market. Even he takes some suggestions from us. I'll be also attending that sessions in between. So if there is something which you're lagging, you're not able to clear your interviews, you can ask a question there. So I'll be able to answer them there. So that's how this placement assistance session is there. Any other questions?
Sir,
Sir, is there any difference between Power BI and Power BI Pro classes? Like, I mean, you have mentioned the Power BI Pro, right? So
that is a
is there
license.
any
That is
difference?
not a desktop. See, licenses are different. Power BI desktop is common for everyone. Pro is just a license. License means if you want to share this report, you cannot share it as a hard-coded hard copy, right? That report has to be interactive. You have to publish this report to Power BI service. So why, if you want to use Power BI service, you need to have Pro and Premium license. Pro license is it will cost you $10 as of today. Going after July, it would be $14. So, and a premium per user. Premium per user will cost you 20. It will be 24 after July. So what is this? This is depending on which kind of license you're taking. In case of Pro license, you can only refresh your report 8 times a day. You have published a report to Power BI service, and if the data is getting refreshed in the background, your report should also refresh, right? To get the latest data. So you can refresh maximum 8 times a day. For with premium per user or premium per capacity, you can refresh 48 times a day. That means after every half an hour, you can refresh your report to get the latest data. So it depends which kind of license you're using. This is not the only difference. In Pro license, you can take a report of maximum 1 GB and per workspace, maximum 10 GB. In case of premium, your report can be of 1 GB, 10 GB, 20 GB, it will still work. So there is no limitation as such in the premium. For a report, I'm talking, not for a complete workspace. Workspace is of 100 GB, 1 TB, 100 TB, depending on P1, P2, P3, there are different licenses. In premium, also there are sub license, which is not useful from a data analyst point of view, but from a data admin point of view, you need to understand that. We will be discussing all this going further. So this is the difference between Pro and Premium. We will be giving you premium per user. There is premium per capacity, PPC, which is also available, but this will be discontinued. This is discontinued by Microsoft itself. That means this is still available now, but it will be discontinued going further in 1 or 2 months completely. So only premium per user and Fabric license would be there. If you go with Pro and Premium, Fabric is also available. So you need not worry. Any other questions?
Yeah, will you provide the license also, right? For
Yeah. You will be getting KSR email IDs, KSR domain email IDs, just like I have. If I go to my Power BI, I have this KSR email ID. The same email IDs will be given to you once you enroll. May not be the very first day, but after 5 or 6 sessions, because this email ID is not compulsory now. Without email also you can continue. Where we feel the compulsion is there, then at that time you will be shared that email IDs. With that email IDs only, you will get Pro and Premium license, premium per user. Any other questions?
Sir, in this course, you will give license or premium per license per user.
Premium per user is also licensed, right? It is also licensed. Pro is also licensed. Premium per user is also licensed. Both are licenses only. License means we are paying from our end to make sure you get that $20 for 2 months. 60 days we usually give. And which is more than enough. More than enough means, see, you will not be going to activate that premium per user on the very day one, right? After 1 month only, we will be starting Power BI service. 1.5 months. So you will have good ample time to practice on that. Any other questions?
Sir,
If you
once
still,
course is
go ahead.
paid, then you will give the license.
The thing is, the very first day you will never expect a license. Without license also you can still work. I mean our team will be sharing license when there is a requirement. That means I will share with them that by tomorrow I'll be starting with some external visuals. Once we complete all these visuals, I'll go to the external visuals. There you need the license, and license is not there. You only need login. Once you get the email ID, Power BI service will not be automatically activated. You have to manually go and activate. So I'll help you on that, how the process works. Email IDs can be shared within next 5 days once you enter. Email IDs are must. I'll be sharing. The team will be sharing. So not in a hurry.
Okay, noted, sir.
Any other questions?
From the very basic, we will cover all the topics, right? It is only for a working person or
No, this is the same thing. The way I'm covering, this is the same which we are going to cover. See, the thing is, if you want to climb a certain point, right? You're going for a trekking. So slightly, slowly, you will start that trekking, right? After some time, you'll increase the pace. So that's how the course also goes. Once you, after 10 sessions, you will feel comfortable. The pace would be slightly higher, right? At that time, I'll not explain that how formatting happens. Formatting we have already discussed. So the pace will slightly increase. That's how it goes. But the points which I am covering, the same way all other points are covered. So there is no difference in that. Any other questions again?
Means like every tab we will cover, right? Every tab and every column.
You have attended today's session, go through previous sessions. You will feel the difference that I have covered every tab. In yesterday's session only, I've shown you what is ribbon bar, what is visualization, what is data tab. So each and every part of this is going to be covered.
It is already recorded, right? Yesterday and demo sessions also.
Yes, you can see.
Okay.
All good. I feel there are no questions. Yeah. If there are no questions, good for today. Let's connect back tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. Have a very good day.